Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So I know I said I was going to take a short break, but DXO 3 just dropped and I thought we'd check it out together. I've briefly mentioned DXO in the past before, but if you're not familiar with it, it's a program that uses advanced algorithms to remove noise from your images without affecting image detail. Some people will argue that using software to enhance our images is kind of like cheating. I believe we should rely on our own skills to capture these amazing images, but sometimes you need a little bit of extra help. Maybe you didn't have time to adjust your settings in the heat of the moment, and you ended up with a noisier image than expected. It's a whole nother argument though, and this video is not about the ethics of using AI software to enhance your images. So let's dive in and see what this program has to offer. So the first time you launch DXO, you can activate a free 31-day trial with 0 limitations, which is pretty cool. So we're just gonna give that a go. In previous versions of DXO, Deep Prime was the strongest option for removing noise and adding sharpness. Now they've added a new option called Deep Prime XD, which is what I want to have a look at today and compare with my past images. Let's slap these puppies in here. So it's going to prompt us right away to download lens profiles and camera profiles so that it knows better to apply the sharpening and noise reduction. Anyways, let's click save. We'll have those download. Start with the one with the least amount of noise. We will start with this one right here. It's really dark, but I am curious if I can get a better result out of it. So we're gonna process this file. We're gonna choose Deep Prime XD. I'm gonna leave it on standard. Lens softness, vignetting we're gonna do ourselves. Lens distortion we'll do ourselves. We'll leave that in there. We want it processed as a DNG, a raw file. And we're just gonna change where this is going. Custom folder. All right, let's start the processing. There's our settings. Let's see what it does. All right, here's our progress bar. Let's give it a minute. Oh man. So we're running this on the M1 Mac Mini. When I'm doing a Deep Prime render on the second version of DXO or even the first version of DXO, it is so much faster than this. It only takes about 30 seconds. So Deep Prime XD is definitely increasing that time to render one single photo. I did see in the patch notes that they made support with DXO 3 specifically for the M1 chip, so it's optimized. Okay, here we are, processing done. What do you want to do next? I want to view the results. Now there isn't a lot of noise in this one. As you can see, our settings are down here. We were at ISO 1600. I probably could have upped that just a little bit more to help get a brighter image so we wouldn't lose any details, but this is supposed to add details. So yeah, let's have a look here. Right up here, I just noticed as I took this slider away, it looked like I just took detail away. So let's just kind of slide this across. It's definitely bringing that eyeball into focus and doing a good job of sharpening around those details. Let's zoom out a little bit because we were really zoomed in there. As a whole, I don't know if that looks better than the very first render I ever did, DXO 1 or 2, but that is still phenomenal. Let's quickly pop that over into Lightroom. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna go to all photos. It's gonna take us down here. Yes, okay, so this is my original edit before I put this whole photo into Photoshop. So we're just gonna copy this one. Okay, let's see. All right, so I got my settings. We're gonna paste that in, see what it does. All right, now we can go back and forth between the two. Oh, wow, whoa, you're joking. I don't know if that's over sharpened or not. You guys will have to kind of like help judge with me. That is a massive difference, but how can I tell this to download from the cloud? Because I feel like, let's make sure it's loaded. Let's make sure it's downloaded because I feel like that's an unfair comparison. Okay, so this image is now downloaded, so we're gonna have a better comparison now. This is the first one we're on right now. This is from DXO 2. This is from DXO 3. It sharpened it a lot, but it may almost be over sharpened. I don't see a huge difference there. One of the things it was talking about was better color reproduction. Very similar, just honestly, it seems really, really sharp. But if we zoom out to here to like a medium crop, Let's compare the two again. All right, well, look, I think it improved the original raw file. I do like my results better from Prime rather than this new version of Prime XD. This one does seem a touch over sharpened. I don't know though. I could always come down actually and remove sharpening. That's probably my issue. Let's compare it one more time with sharpening removed. Sharpening removed on both images now. Okay, this is different. I think okay, so with sharpening removed so that the Lightroom isn't over sharpening the image, I do like the results best from Deep Prime XD. Let's move on to the next photo and check out the difference on those ones. All right, Deep Prime XD, same settings as before, start processing, and we'll be back in a moment once again. There we go. So let's view the results on this one. This one I'm interested to see. Oh my God, the difference in this photo. We got to go definitely apply some edits to it and get the shadows lifted, see what kind of detail we can recover from it. But definitely huge difference on that one. Again, just 2000 ISO. So we're still not into any high ISO numbers. Let's export this one into Lightroom. Okay, so here we go. Info. This is the Deep Prime, yeah, Deep Prime XD image right here. That's this one. And I have a regular Deep Prime edit right here. Let's take the settings and drop them in, see what happens. Wow, okay. So that copied over nicely. There is a difference, something going on there. Let us zoom in. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here's our image. We have the Deep Prime here, and we're going to switch over to the Deep Prime XD. Definitely, yeah, I can see an ever so slight difference in sharpness. Not a lot at all. Again, it just kind of like, it's overdoing it almost. But then again, if I scroll down here, I have this sharpening to remove. And we'll go over to this one. And we'll remove its sharpening. And there you have it. Oh, wow. Okay. So if you remove their shape and sharpening, let's take out the noise reduction too. I don't know why that's on. So if we remove all of that and keep the original edit on still, the new Deep Prime XD version is definitely sharper. It looks really good. So if we zoom out, I mean, you would never want to be that close to it. That image is not meant to be cropped in that close. So I think this new version, just subtly, there's a little bit more detail. Now, if we were to zoom into this one, into both of them, obviously this one's sharper, and we can kind of look there. Here's the thing though, like, if you already own one of the previous versions of DXO, I don't think this upgrade's really necessary, because check it out. I turn on the sharpening, go over to the other image, and now they look the same. There's not a difference so far. Let's do a space one. Yeah, let's do that one next. It's 4000 ISO, so it's a jump. This one here, the one we just did, that was 2000 ISO. 4000 ISO, not bad at all. But there is definitely some really interesting artifacts going on here. Look at these little green and red. Like, look at that. That noise is really interesting, actually. Super interesting noise in this photo. So this will be a good one to see what happens with space videos. Like, that's crazy. I've never noticed how intense they're like little stars on their own. The little red and green stars. It's a Christmas photo. This one here, this photo, it was taken on the Tamron 20mm and the Sony A7 II. Let's get it processing. Deep Prime, standard sharpening. I don't think it really needs sharpening. Yeah. Okay, so this one does have really bad lens distortion and vignetting. So am I saying that right? Anyways, we're gonna see how it processes this image. Hey, what's going on, guys? Forgot to turn this on, so I'm in the corner now. So back over here, let's view the results. We're all ready to go. Okay, so we have lens distortion turned on in this one. Definitely makes a difference. Overall, like as a big picture like this, looking at it like this, big difference for sure. I don't know, let's have a look at it in Lightroom. So this is it here, processed with Deep Prime XD. Let's go find the original image and compare the two. Let's try copying its settings over. Let's have a look. Paste it. What? What is this image? Okay, I can see why I went with a different one. I just realized the one we decided to have a look at today, the star trailing was off the charts, Deep Prime XD, so this is the one. I had no idea I chose the wrong image to process. Or did I? Wait a second. These are the same images. 7323. You see the file name here? It's the exact same file name in the camera. So... interesting. So do I recommend using well, damn, these naming schemes, I can't get them to the I just can't figure it out. Do I recommend using Deep Prime XD on your space photos? It's looking like I don't, because for a second there I thought I took an even shittier photo than I originally thought. The original image, let's paste that same edit on it just to make sure. Two wildly different results from the same edit. Those are the same file names, right? They are. They are the exact same file names. Interesting. Okay, so we're looking at these two files. Let's make sure whatever's going on and all. So I've got all kinds of like separate little edits trying to like bring out different aspects of the photo. This is an older image from 2021, I think. Yep, 2021. Older image. I'm not very good at space photos, but that's not the point. Let's take the sharpening out. Let's take the noise reduce out. Let's take noise coloring. Let's take it all out. No extra detailing on this one. We're gonna leave it on the original because the original, as you see here, was not processed in any denoising software. I left it all natural and did my own noise reductions through Lightroom. This one here is DXO's version. So if we switch between the two, we're seeing a lot more stars here. This middle cluster here in the Milky Way looks crazy sharp. But when we zoom in, what are all these lines? It looks like it tried to put all kinds of detail in there. Whereas this one, it's like much more natural looking. So I think that one was kind of an interesting result. How about the grass down here? Oh, you can't even make out what the heck the grass is in the original image. So that's cool. You can see some motion blur in these grass blades kind of like rocking back and forth. They definitely look real funky. I don't know. Look, these weren't the best images to start with. And let's see, what was I shooting? 25 seconds. I think that's a little too long. So I like, obviously I was capturing star trails, but this is just the weirdest looking effect in the night sky. But you know how it was saying that it's boasting more color in DXO Prime XD? These names are brutal, man. But they were kind of like saying that you would be able to bring out more color. If I've copied the settings over properly, it does look like it brought out more color in this one, but it also just made it super green. So I would have to go in and like do a whole modification to try and make this look a little bit more natural. Right now it looks like I've either got a ton of light pollution or I'm trying to fake some northern lights, which I was not seeing the northern lights. I'm pretty damn confident about that. I would have been very hyped up if I was. Let's move on to another space image after this kind of like interesting find. So I have a favorite picture here of last year's blood moon. Yeah, May 22nd, last year's blood moon. It was friggin' cool. Some of my favorite images, but like we're shooting ISO. Okay, so we're jumping ahead here. This photo, it's 12,800 ISO. It's really high. I was working our way up to it, but I really want to see how it processes. Let's do it. Okay, standard. Lens distortion, I'm going to turn that all off. I'm turning everything off again because this is with the Sony a7 IV and the 200 to 600 at 600 millimeters. Plus there's probably some additional cropping. I can't recall if I hit the little 2x crop button, the crop factor button. I think we'll just do a couple more after this. Ooh, 3 more. We got to do 3 more. Maybe I should just process the rest and we'll just have a look at them all at once. I'll take a quick break and run away because I need a quick break to just kind of go chill. Been sitting here for a while, just watching loading bars go across the screen. Okay, here we are. We're ready. Let's start off in DXO. Let's view the results. This is my blood moon shot. Judging by how close we are in frame, I definitely hit the crop button. And this may not be one of the shots where I got the moon totally in focus. It was a really difficult shoot. But let's just... I mean, I don't think we're going to see a difference in this one. I definitely got sharper shots. Let's add it in. Let's go to all photos. It is 958. So that's this one here. Let's copy its settings over. No. Let's copy its settings and its crop and everything. And we'll paste it into the new one. Again, yeah. So it definitely seems like any files from DXO, Deep Prime, XD have a little bit more brightness and a little bit more color naturally when I apply my new edit to it. But otherwise, yeah, I don't see a difference. Let's check out the little stars here. Yeah. Am I comparing the right ones? I was not comparing the right ones. Okay, there we go. So it's these two. This one, this one. Yeah. You know what? There's a little bit more detail there. As for like image noise, seems to be about the same. Again, I'd have to download this one. Let me download it and then we'll compare them. All right, spinning around in circles again, watching another download screen. That's all I've been doing today. Okay, so there's that one versus this one. Subtly sharper along the edge of the moon. And in this case, I don't mind it. It looks good. Yeah. All the details of the moon are just subtly better. Not by much, just by a little bit. And I think I like that. How about the stars? The stars are just a little speck. It's a brighter, sharper speck, I guess. I don't know. That one, it didn't have the same scary results as the last one. That seemed pretty good. All right, I'm going to start processing all of the final images for comparison. I'm going to do 4 more photos. Let's process all 4 of them. Standard, same as before. And I will be back. All right. They just finished exporting. Let's view the results and have a look-see. So the first image I've got here was a pretty cool little photo. We pulled over on the side of the road on the way to Belleville. We ended up seeing a flock of turkeys. Is it a flock? Definitely a flock. And you got one interesting guy right here in the center who's only got one eye. Lots of noise initially, shooting 5000 ISO. F7. I was trying to get a sharper image through all the foliage, and they were kind of like hopping around and moving, so I kept a pretty high shutter. I just didn't want to get a blurry photo because I couldn't hold still or that they were on the move. I probably could have tried to lower it a little bit, but overall, about what I expected, the same as before. This guy over here, who's not the main subject, actually seems the sharpest. Maybe not. This guy's beak's pretty focused. There you go. That one's pretty cool. Moving on to the next. My first winter heron. This one was pretty sharp before, but almost looked over sharpened. And I think we get that same effect. Very dark lines in the hair, like separating each little feather. It is definitely over sharpened, but overall, like, I think that would be an easier image to work with than that one. So it cleans it up a bit. That one was 5000 ISO. I mean, the a7 IV already handles the noise so well. I could easily work with the original image without requiring any software. This next one, super excited about this one. Well, I was back then, I mean. On the way out to my best friend's house, we ended up, I saw a flash of blue fly past, and it turned out to be this Indigo Bunting, and I so desperately want to find another one. They are amazing. So if this can enhance the image, I will be very happy. I'm all for it. So we can see, just barely, we can see his little claws wrapped around this stick here. We can see all his little feather details. Oh, he's just such a beautiful hue of blue. Like, I didn't even know that bird existed in Canada. So beautiful. Let's bring this little slider over and see the magic. Okay, I was about to start pointing at it, like you could see that. So, yeah. Well, okay, look at his little feet come into view. That is magnificent. It sharpened it up. I'm very happy with that. Like, I do have to understand that I'm cropped in at like 320%. I'm not gonna like post a photo or print a photo at 320% crop. If we zoom out to even just 100, actually if we go to 100% crop, or let's go with 80% crop, I would print that right there. I'd frame that out and I would print it. And it's a huge improvement. Huge improvement. I'm very happy with how that one looks. And next, we got the squirrel. This was one of the first days I went out with my new A7 IV, and I saw this little squirrel enjoying a walnut. I had a super high ISO of 12,800. We zoom in here, the details are insane. Like, how is there that much detail even though it's that noisy? I think it's because I had the right lighting, right? You were not dealing with harsh shadows or harsh highlights. It's literally the whole image is perfectly balanced. So I think me as a photographer actually nailed the settings there. Handheld in a dark environment. I couldn't bring the shutter speeds too low. So this is what I worked with. Let's slide this little slider into view. Oh my God. So if you have the right type of image, that already is captured very well. This software, actually a minor difference to be honest. It's a little over sharpened, but it did a phenomenal job again, just getting rid of that noise. I don't know. That's it. That's my comparison. I'm hungry for lunch. I don't want to do this anymore. Let's add the photos. Quickly go have a look at them. You know, like the Indigo Bunting, I'd love to see his comparison. All photos. Okay, so it's this one versus this one. This is DXO 1 Deep Prime. This is DXO 2 Deep Prime. Let's copy. All right, let's hope this works better. Oh, interesting. Overall, it's just like, oh, they're the same. Okay. That's just how my original edit looked. Zoom in here. This is Deep Prime XD versus Deep Prime DNG. I'm gonna download it because we need a good comparison of my favorite bird, my favorite little bird. Now that it's downloaded, let's zoom in a little bit. So that is the regular Prime XD. Again, super over sharpened, but I think I have sharpening applied. So we take all this off, blah, blah, blah. And now we compare the two. There's still a difference. What is going on around the eye though? Another interesting difference. I need some file information again. Prime NG. So, you know how it's talking about better color science again? Well, I think we're seeing that here. I'll have to research whether the bird is supposed to have these hues of browns. And I mean, that could just be more natural lighting, but around his eye, he's got like darker feathers, whereas in the original Deep Prime image, it was blue all the way around his eye and his beak was blue, and now it's putting like hues of like browns and yellows and greens. I don't know what you would call those colors, but there's a different mixture of colors in the beak and a different mixture of colors around the eye compared to the original, which just turns everything blue. That's super interesting on its own as well. Again, actually, look at that right in the belly. That's why I noticed such a difference in the edit. More greens. Oh, wow, that is so much sharper. There's way more detail on the underside of them in the new version of it with XD. Again, it's super minor in the grand scheme of things, but that does bring in quite a bit more. And it's kind of giving me some different colors to work with, which is interesting. So to have to like properly ID this bird, look at some other photos of them, see what colors are supposed to be mixed in. But we're just gonna check, we're gonna compare one more. Just one more. I wanna go see the, oh my God, I'm scrolling through all my photos right now. 1,000. This one? Let's check it out quick. All right, here's the original. Let's choose its settings. 1060? Yep, these are the same. So this is a deep prime, and this is an XD. Let's paste the XD, or the D prime on the XD. There we go. All right, zoom in. All right, so this one here is deep prime. This is XD. Deep prime, XD. Yeah, you know what? Same thing again. Actually, if we zoom really close into the eye, I'm gonna have to download it. I would say it's a pretty big difference because like you have less black leaking into his eye, and you get that. It looks a little more natural to me. Oh, yeah, it definitely clean. It's different. Again, it's different. Okay. Okay, so this is the prime, regular prime, right here, and this is the XD. Paste settings. I like that. I like that a lot. Now we zoom in. The colors do seem to be more natural. Let's just download it quick. This is the last one. I'm not doing any more. Then I'll make an outro and we're done. Okay. So this is the prime. Yeah, prime. Okay, so this is the default prime. This is the XD. Just sharper. No crazy coloring going on here. I mean, there's always a difference. There is a difference in coloring between them, but this one's not as severe in any noticeable way. And that's that. That is DXO PureRaw 3. So my final thoughts on DXO. It's still one of the simplest options on the market for a denoising program to improve your workflow. Although if you're going to be using the new Deep Prime XD feature, it is a little bit harder on your hardware, and it seems the rendering times are longer. If you already own DXO 1 or 2, this might not be a necessary upgrade. However, I'm going to be upgrading simply for that color rendering. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.